Hi everybody, it's Jason with Superhero Deep Dive. I have a pretty good episode lined up today. We're going to be discussing a very obscure hero that I think you guys will enjoy because there's so much potential in it. So, before I get into it, let me give my normal disclaimers. As always, the information is pulled from different sources across the internet and may or may not be completely complete, but they do give a really good insight on the current superhero that we're talking about. Also, if you ever want to reach out to me, please feel free to. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. I'm listed under YouTube under Superhero Deep Dive. I have new videos posted every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And please comment, like, subscribe, and share. Help me grow the channel. If I can get up to 500 subscribers, I will do a giveaway, and I have a great giveaway set up. I'm just waiting for the numbers to come in. So let's expand. Also, if it is a Tuesday or Thursday, you are probably listening to me on Outworld Fleet Radio, and their website is www.un-con-conventional.com/radio. I air every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the day. And new podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, except Apple Podcasts for some reason. I have new episodes coming up every Tuesday. So, yeah. And if you ever want to catch me on Twitter or Instagram, but never Twitch, even though I have one, it is Super Deep Dive, and use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive. Comment, follow me, I'll follow you. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. My DMs are always open. And yeah, you can also email me before I forget at B4itall, so B4itall at yahoo.com. Okay, I think that's all of that stuff. Wow, that's a lot. But this week I am going to be talking about Aztek. You may not know who he is. You may recognize him when you see him. He's got like a white costume with like a gold kind of collar, chest piece kind of thing, and then this big gold helmet that's got like 4 points on it sticking out. But he is called Aztek, the Ultimate Man. So let's delve into him. His real name is Uno, or Dr. Curtis Falconer. And Uno is raised from childhood by a secret organization named the Q Society. And that's not, I don't think that has anything to do with the QAnon stuff, so let's not worry about that. The Q Society to be the champion of the Aztec god Quetzalcoatl. And I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. To battle their enemy, the Aztec god Tezcatlipoca. He is given a magical suit of armor that bestows many abilities, complementing Uno's peak human mental and physical abilities, and after his training completed, he enters the United States and assumes the identity of recently deceased physician Kurt Falconer. Okay, so that's kind of a basic overview of him. So Uno, he arrived in Vanity City and quickly made a name for himself as the city's hero, with the city paper dubbing him Aztek. The city's former hero, Bloodtype, was a ruthless killer, and when Bloodtype brutally gunned down a supervillain named Piper, Aztek tried to stop him. Unfortunately, the entire building exploded, causing Bloodtype's death. With Bloodtype dead, Vanity Police Department Chief Perrier, I don't know, welcomed Aztek as the city's official protector. As the hero of Vanity City, Aztek fought a shapeshifter named Synth, a technological supplier named Fixit, and Bloodtype's deranged ex-wife Death Doll. Wow. Okay. He also teamed up with Green Lantern Kyle Rayner, who welcomed him to the superhero community. So that's pretty cool. You found a big shot with Kyle Rayner. Like, that's cool. As a secret identity, Aztek took the identity of the murdered Piper. becoming Dr. Kurt Falconer. Aztek falsified his identity as a doctor at St. Bartholomew's Hospital. There he worked under supervisor Julia Frostick and worked with Dr. Wally Mosley and nurse Joy Page, whom he dated once. Frostick became suspicious about Falconer's identity, though, when her fiancé revealed he was not the real Kurt Falconer. Aztek's life changed drastically with the appearance of the Lizard King. The Lizard King was the new identity of Aztek's father's second-in-command. The Lizard King had a dream about the Shadow God and decided that Aztek could not face him. The Lizard King captured and killed Joy Page in order to capture Aztek and to take the mask. Aztek gave the Lizard King the mask thinking it would save Joy. However, Joy was already dead and donning the mask killed the Lizard King. Still, Aztek now knew about his father's cause of death. After the Lizard King's reveal, Aztek in turn revealed his true identity to Julia Frostick. Aztek began to have feelings for Julia as he continued to defend Vanity City, and Aztek teamed up with Batman against the Joker, who used both his Joker venom and Fix-It's mind-manipulating robotic crickets. I had to pause there because I just had to reread that. Robotic crickets to cause chaos in Vanity City. Aztek also traveled to Metropolis, where he defeated the Parasite. So he's got some good wins, like he's got a bit of credibility to him. You can't fault that. Or can you? I don't know, but let's keep going. Okay, he defeated the Parasite. Aztek later joins the Justice League, but resigns when it is revealed that one of the mysterious benefactors of the Q Society is supervillain Lex Luthor. Knowing that Luthor used Aztek as a pawn, Aztek resigned as an active member of the Justice League. However, Aztek remained as a reservist. Aztek was called into action when Amazo defeated the core members of the League. He is later blinded, helping the League save the Earth in a battle against the planet-destroying machine, Mageddon. Apparently the Tezcatlipoca that the cult was referring to all along. So it wasn't the god, it was the machine. Okay. Aztek ultimately sacrifices himself to allow Superman the chance to destroy Mageddon Tezcatlipoca during the World War III story arc. So, there was a second Aztek, but I didn't look into her because the main information and what has been shown in media and stuff was the guy, so I wanted to focus on what people would recognize. Now, powers. Aztek has peak human physical and mental conditioning. He wears an ancient helmet called the Mask of Warriors, and armor powered by a 4-dimensional mirror. Not really sure what that is, but it's there, so we can deal with it, I guess. From which he derives flight, infrared and X-ray vision, invisibility, intangibility, body heat camouflage, entrapment nets, plasma beams, and density manipulation, as well as augmenting his peak physical abilities to superhuman levels. The helmet could feed information directly into his brain, even after he was blinded in his first confrontation with Mageddon. The 4-dimensional power source could self-destruct in a highly explosive manner as well. So he's pretty powered. He's got a lot there. Aztek appeared in Scribblenauts Unmasked, a DC Comics adventure, as did his battlesuit, a costume giving the player his powers. Aztek also appeared in Justice League Unlimited, mostly appearing in brief cameos throughout the series. After making a brief appearance in Question Authority, he made a more significant appearance in I Am Legion, where he helped Superman and Shahira Hall investigate where Lex Luthor had gone after escaping prison. Superman asked Aztek to scan the scene to see if he could find out where Luthor went, but had no luck after finishing his scan. King Faraday then appeared behind the trio and introduced himself to Aztek. Aztek is also written as a hero whose big picture mission meant he took unusual solutions to solving small problems. Not really sure what that means. I haven't really had a chance to read a lot of him, but the character is pretty cool nonetheless. Like, I mean, it's a cool character. What do you guys think, though? Like, what do you guys think of this character? Do you like him? Do you have experience with him? Is there anything I missed that you can add? Because I would love to hear it, personally. I got intrigued. I'm probably going to go to my local comic shop and start looking at things to see if I can find any, like, his mini-series. I think he had, like, a 10-issue mini-series. So, I'm going to see what I can find. But I'm anxious to hear what you guys think. In the meantime, though, I'm going to move on to the Power Expansion, which is my favorite set. This is where I go and look at things and say, would they make a good movie? Would their character be good in a TV show, an animated series? Do we need to stick with comics? Do we need to have a different storyline? You know, all that stuff. I try to cover whatever I can, like however I feel that this would be the best fit. A lot of times it does include like a movie. And that's just because that's kind of where we go in society now. Like, can this be marketed as a movie, reach more people, and have a greater audience? And I love that personally. But before I get into that, let me just give a refresher. You know, you can, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share. Help me grow the channel. Help me grow the community. Let's have some really fun talks, because I love talking about this stuff. I love hearing you guys' ideas. You know, we had one that, you know, I talked about Vixen last week. Someone wanted, you know, Halle Berry to be in a new Vixen movie, and I expressed that I thought the Catwoman movie that she was in was already a Vixen movie. Someone else chimed in saying that they felt that Halle Berry might be a little too old for that kind of role nowadays. You know, and the only reason I think that they may have said she's too old is not because she's out of shape, because it's far from it. It's just, we're thinking longevity. You know, if you have a movie, you also got to think of any kind of sequels that might come on. If there's a franchise, if there's like Justice League or something, would she be able to fit into a Justice League type movie? A lot of times we need to look toward younger actors now, because we're looking long term. We're looking at movies that may cover the span of 10 years. I have no idea how old Halle Berry is, but let's say for argument's sake, let's say 35. I think 35 is young, but let's say 35. So by the time, you know, we may be done with that character, she could be 45 years old, you know, and that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. So, you know, just keep that in mind when you're going over your discussions. But I love having those discussions, because I get to see where everyone's mind is, where everyone is coming from. But yeah, follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. I do post superhero memes throughout the week, so that's always a lot of fun too. But yeah, my name on there, I'm sorry, is Super Deep Dive. So, you know, I think it'd be great. But yeah, let's get into the Power Expansion. I'm sorry if I'm distracted. It's the weekend. I have a lot happening, and I'm just cruising by right now because I don't know what's going on. But one of the things I've always liked about Aztek is the fact that he's from a totally different civilization that we know practically nothing about. And I think we need to hold on to that. Like, we need to remember that we don't know a lot about the Aztec civilization. He's in a kind of like a secret society that deals with it, but you know, you're not getting a whole lot of information. And there's so much mystery surrounding the Aztecs as a whole, and this makes a door for comic books about as perfect as it can be. Aztek brings a cool level of diversity that can only benefit the whole superhero landscape, but it needs to be done right. And honestly, with the stuff that we have going on television and movie-wise, would Aztek even be noticed? And that, unfortunately, I don't think seems very likely. We need to put a twist on it. So here's what I propose. Let's have a movie based on Aztek, but let's have it set in the past. Let's have him be a tribal warrior and protect his people from the Spanish or something like that. And I pulled the Spanish, not as anything against them, but it's because we do have documentation of them fighting off a Spanish invasion at one point in history. So, let's do that. We'll play on the history aspect. This would be a cool take, and it could be an interesting twist on the heavy superhero market, or superhero movie market. The reason I'm saying that is if we have a guy just in a suit of armor, that can do things, we're seeing almost every other superhero movie, right? We got to separate it. So if we put it in the past and have him have this mystical armor, then we're setting forth something that can be capitalized on. So who would I cast? That I need to defer to you guys. I honestly have no idea. I was thinking of someone more Native American as opposed to someone Spanish or Hispanic, simply because they're fighting the Spanish invasion, and you'd want if it's a culture war like that, you want there to be some kind of I guess physical difference in for the characteristics of the people for optics' sake. You don't want to assume that the Aztecs look like the Spanish and vice versa. But they may be very similar. So that's why I was thinking Native American, because Native Americans have certain distinct physical characteristics that could play. But I was looking up Native American actors, and I really didn't see a whole lot with the star power and the look. When I looked up Native American actors, the first one that came up on Bing is Channing Tatum, I think. And if he's Native American, that's awesome. Kudos. But he's not known for being a Native American actor, as far as I know. And he definitely, when you think of a Native American, he doesn't his look does not come to mind. I don't know if that's bad or good or what, but I did notice that we are having a heavy lack, at least in our from what I've seen currently, a heavy lack of star power. We have some that I saw on the list that were iconic Native American actors, but they're also way up there in age. And I would want someone, ideally mid to late 20s, early 30s, someone that could be at pretty much the peak of their physical conditioning. Jason Momoa came up, but he's already Aquaman. And you definitely don't want a major movie, a main character in the same universe, like the DC universe, played by the same actor. That just gets a little bit lazy, right? We got to find someone. Maybe this is an opportunity to build a new star. I don't know, but if you guys know, I would love to find out. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know. Send me an email at b4, so b4itall@yahoo.com. Let me know on Twitter or Instagram. I would absolutely love your feedback. But in the meantime, I'm going to head out. This one's kind of a shorter episode because this character is really obscure, but I think there's so much potential. We just have to flush it out and put a twist on it to make him stand out, because otherwise he won't. But as a society, we are craving more diversity, We're craving representation, and I think this is a good way to do it, is to take some of these, put good twists on them, but that's still respectful to the character. You know, like we are taking an Aztek character, Latin character, a Hispanic. I don't know the proper term for it, but there's someone that is definitely an ethnically diverse character, and we can capitalize on that. Whether it's just for a good money grab or altruistic purposes, I don't care. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it on screen anyway. But like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments, or send me a message, comment on Instagram or Twitter. You know, everything is open. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to call it for now, and I'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, everyone be safe, be blessed, be happy, be smart, and if you're not smart, don't get caught. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.